Hello again. So, do you like the sound of this? If so, welcome back to another Perfect XL video. So this league, I've been playing with skeleton minion instability build, which is a way better league starter than my previous leagues because you don't really need the gear to start with. I mean, you do need gear, but the gear is cheap to start with. Basically, you need two 1L uniques to start with. The idea behind the build is we focus on minion instability. When the minion is reduced to low life, they just explode for a bunch of damage. And to make them get to low life, we're using Ascendancy's Embrace together with Infernal Legion support, which make them burn for like combined of 70% maximum life per second as fire damage, and then they are gonna explode when they reach low life to deal a lot of damage. So and because this is a minion build, the elemental damage or other damage on the tree doesn't help the minion, so we're not picking any of that up. The only way to scale minion instability damage is minion damage and minion life. Minion life increase their base damage and minion damage increase the damage scaling. So basically we want minion life and minion damage. And when we are looking for minion damage and minion life, if they have the same value, minion life gives slightly more damage than minion damage, according to POB at least. So if you're running into 10% minion damage or 10% minion life, you want 10% minion life over that. So that's basically the premise of the focus of the skill tree. So this is not exactly a build guide because I did follow others' footsteps and I just make some adjustments, for example adding a cluster jewel and stuff. So this is more like a build diary or something. Yeah, also during leveling you want to level with skeleton and zombies. I think you get zombies as the reward when you kill Hillock at level 1 as a witch, so you're gonna go with the zombie and whatever spell you can find to level up. And then when you get to like, I forgot, level 12 or something, you can get summon skeleton. And basically it's all smooth from there because the zombies and skeleton actually deal enough damage to melt bosses. And when you get minion instability, when they do die, they explode for more damage. And when you get to like level 30 something, you can start picking up Ascendancy's Embrace, so they actually actively burn themselves to death and then triggering minion instability. So all the way throughout the leveling process, all the way to maybe yellow maps, I was having no trouble whatsoever melting anything. When the skeleton exploded, the boss just disappears. So even after they buff the boss's life, leveling have not been this smooth before when I play this build. So this is a good league starter, and if you invest into it for late game, you actually reach a lot of good damage late game. I think you can reach like 500,000 per explosion late game, so every time you summon 4 skeleton, that's 2 million damage. So yeah, I would say this is a good build, and this is some kind of build that I cannot come up with myself. So I basically follow the core of the other people and follow through with some adjustment for my own playstyle. Basically the tree is picking up life so you don't get one shot, and then minion life and minion damage to scale out damage. And I decided to go for cluster jewel because that's not too much to get on the tree. Maybe some life down here or maybe some more minion nodes over here, but I don't think it's worth the points. So I decided to go for cluster jewels. You don't need the jewels that I have. The large cluster jewel is the most expensive one because they nerf it to the ground and making it really difficult to roll. But you don't need this kind of jewel. You can just buy a jewel with 2 sockets with like 1 or 2 notables. You don't need 3 notables. 3 notables, this one cost me 4 exhaust, but if you're only looking for 2 notables or 1 notables, you can buy some jewels with 30 to 50 chaos. So this is the notable I choose, called the Slaughter. Makes the summon skeleton have more movement speed, so they actually have enough time to run into the enemy to explode. And then Feasting Fiends is minion life and minion damage, so general a good note. Rise and Pillage allows all our minion, because of the minion gain 6% physical extra fire. So it basically means all our minions, including zombies and stone golem, is gonna get some fire damage, which allows them to activate the elemental army exposure and the combustion support, further lowering the enemy resistances. That's why I think Rise and Pillage is the best note if you can only choose one. I think the next one is gonna be, the other 2 is basically equally good, I would say. But if you do have the money, or if you get to late game, you do want these 3 notes. And I think these 3 notes is the only notes that's useful for custom cluster jewels, because others are either converting your minions' physical damage to chaos, require them to have full health, or require them to crit. So I think these 3 nodes is the only nodes that is useful for large cluster jewel. So for medium cluster jewel, Hulking Corpses is the best node, because that's a crap ton of life. You cannot get better nodes than this with a medium cluster jewel. The other one I was choosing again, Feasting Fiends, good note overall. And the other one I chose Life and Death, because this basically means your zombies and spectre rarely, extremely rarely die, because you keep summoning skeleton, they keep dying, and every time they die they recover the health for other minion, and because that's recover, so it's instant. So basically you summon 4 skeleton, they explode, all your other minions heal for 12%, actually 16%. And you can summon 2 waves of skeleton minion, 8 of them, so they are basically healing 24% every second with this. It slightly delay the second wave of the skeleton explosion, but I would say that's worth it, because it doesn't affect the fuse time that much for the skeletons, and it helps keep all the other minions alive. Very good. As for the final jewel socket, I chose Disciple of Kitava, because it synergized well with Plaguebringer from Necromancer Note. Because when mapping, you're always going to have corpse around you, so you always have Plaguebringer bonus, and you keep consuming them for life recovery, which also means you get, just more damage, more area. And the final note, I chose this one to get myself some ES, because when I decided to go for the Chromatic Aegis instead of dual wielding, I did try dual wielding Arendel's Embrace for a little bit. I did travel to the Scion jewel socket together with this jewel here, which converts the notables into minion take 20% increased damage. So if you do want to do wield Ariandel's Embrace, you can combo with Fortress Covenant Jewel and put it in here, and then pick up this notable here and this notable here. So with 3 notables, the skeleton is going to take 60% more damage, resulting in a slightly faster explosions compared to Necromantic Aegis. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's point efficient, because you need to pick up a lot of not so useful nodes here. So I decided to just go for Necromantic Aegis after trying out Fortress Covenant for a while. The fuse time is like slightly worse. I think it's 0.8 seconds compared to 0.9 seconds or something like that, around the lines. But I think this is more point efficient because it opens up the minion nodes here and the minion nodes here. If you do have the points, you can grab these nodes. And traveling through the energy shield nodes also allows us to get better energy shields. At the end of the day, I kind of want to get 1.5 to 2000 energy shield as my end goal, to see if it's worth it, because I don't think going full on life allows you to go to 6k life. I don't think. So I'm trying to get some ES to see if we can get a better health pool, overall health pool, and yeah, and making use of the energy shield nodes here. So that's why I choose the small cluster jewel with energy shield scalings. So yeah, that's basically the skill tree. When you're leveling, you want to go up as a witch and then rush minion instability and then pick up the minion nodes around the tree, and then you can go to the left side for more life. You can go down for more life here and then more minion nodes here, and then at the end get the Scion life wheel. And when you start getting into mapping, you can go start coming down from here for your equilibrium, and then eventually get to necromantic ages. Before that, dual wield Ariandel's Embrace. The skeleton and zombies is gonna deal enough damage for you anyway before you get to red maps. So that's basically the skill tree. And for the Ascendancy, this is the minus aggression, and then you get Bone Bearer, which gives you Bone Armor, which is a skill that is basically Steel Skin, but unlike Steel Skin that only lasts for 1.5 seconds, Bone Armor actually lasts for 3, and it also gives immunity to bleeding. It actually also removes bleeding when activated, so you no longer need a bleeding flask. Open up the option for you to use Blood of Kurui. And also this also applies to minions, so it gives your minion bleed immunity too. So Bone Armor is a really good node. The physical reduction doesn't help that much, even though I combo it with Arctic Armor. You still take a million damage when you get hit by physical. So yeah, but the Bone Armor actually allows you to get a lot of buffer when taking damage. I bind it, personally I bind it with left click, so it activates automatically when you move around. If you are confident in your ability, you can always self-activate the Bone Armor ability, but I just choose to put it in a left click, so it's up half the time. 3 second cooldown and 3 second uptime. It's way better skill than Steel Skin. So yeah. So yeah, that's basically the and the final lab, final 2 points, you want a natural strength for plus minion skill gem, and then Plague Bringer for more damage. So that's the Ascendancy. If you do get enough, eventually get enough ES, maybe try out Essence Glutton. If I do get to 2000 energy shield, I'm gonna try out the nodes, but at the moment I think Plague Bringer is gonna benefit us more. So that's the skill tree. As for the gear, again, dual wield Ariandel's Embrace combined with Fortress Covenant, or if you go for Necromantic Aegis, you can go for Maligaro's Lance, which makes the shield's stats apply to your minions. So you have minus 50% elemental damage, get themselves more life and attack speed, and more area, and they recover your life when they die. So Maligaro's Lance I think is better choice, but if you do want to go extreme on the fuse time, make them explode faster, you can always do Will Ariandel's Embrace for slightly more damage. Dual-wield Ariandel Embrace with Fortress Covenant is gonna result in slightly more damage, slightly better fuse time. But for the defensive capability and point efficient, I think Marigaro's Lance is still better. As for all the other gears, before you really get to red maps, you really don't need anything else before you get to red maps. I literally didn't even cap my resistance until I get to red map. And by not capping, I actually mean running around with 50 to 60% resistance. And I'm actually still dying less compared to my other characters because... Wait, what happened? Okay, that's why. Yeah, if you play it safe, you can just keep summoning skeletons in front of you. You literally never take damage. But I do die quite a few times because I shield charge into packs because I want to go faster. But if you don't shield charge into packs, you literally doesn't take damage if you keep summoning the skeleton in front of you. Your army of Spectre and Zombie and the skeleton is gonna block all the damage for you, so yeah. But if you do get to red maps, you can start thinking about buying helmets like this with minion life and minion damage support gems, which allows you to have a Pseudo 6 link for your skeletons. Yeah, a helmet like this is gonna cost you like 1 to 2 exalts. But if you go for endgame of the endgame min-maxing helmet, you can go for minion life, minion damage, and the minion level. You lose out the life roll, but the damage it gives is just insane. But those helmet is like 25 exalts to 30 exalts. It's really expensive. So I think sticking with 1 to 2 exalt helmet like this one is good enough. For the moment at least, and then when you don't really need this until you get to red maps, but I did get to red maps now, so I'm starting to think about further increasing our damage. And yeah, I finally kept my resistance now also. I literally run with self-found gear except buying Ariandel's Embrace and Malagaro's Lance. I did get them to drop, but I don't get the good rolls, so I did buy them from other players. But yeah, it really tells you how little gear you really need before you get to red map. But yeah, when I get to red map, I actually want to cap resist and stuff, so I did buy some cheap ass rings that has basically only life and resistance, maybe some dex for your desecrate, and maybe faster attack shield charge. So yeah, other than that is life and resistance and stuff. But yeah, I did change my amulet recently for, again, you can get minion damage. I think these drop in Delve with minion nodes. You can drop with in minion damage, so you can pick these up. These are not too expensive for the moment at least, because yeah, most people are finding amulets with crit multi and add the physical damage or something. So this type of amulet is not too difficult to get. So the boots, again, you can see how shit the boot is. I'm level 41 because I did get this from myself. So yeah, you can see how shit the gear is. I just recently changed my amulet glove and belt. I was using this belt for, again, since I'm leveling, like, but I'm switching to belts like this, which is the result of you throwing Essence of Fear onto belts. Essence of Fear allows you to get minion life on belts or armor, so you can just keep throwing Essence of Fear into your belt and armor until you get good enough life roll or maybe some resistance, and then you can roll with it. So yeah, That's basically the gear you want to aim for. And then I just get this glove just now, again throwing Essence of Fear onto the Redeemer base. Hopefully you can get minion damage from Redeemer too, but I didn't get it, so I craft minion damage on it. So yeah, that's basically it. I think you can do it on boots too, so you know. So that's basically the gear. You want minion life or minion damage, so basically you need a lot of Essence of Fear. You just keep throwing them onto all your gear until you get enough stuff. I think Redeemer rings, for rings and amulet, I think you need Redeemer for minion damage. So that's basically it about the gear. And as for links, again, summon skeletons, minion life, minion damage, and I got it on my helmet, so I don't need it anymore. Your fourth link is gonna be Infernal Legion, and then if you get 5th or 6th link, you want Elemental Focus and Awakened Firepan. And as for your supporting cast, you would want Rise Zombie and Rise Spectre, linked with Combustion, so they lower the enemy resistance, and then Feeding Frenzy, which give you 10% more minion damage and attacking move speed. And then you want minion life, because yeah, you don't want them to die, you want him to be a mid shield. It's very rare, but zombies do die. It's rare, but they do die. So that's why I choose minion life. If you get 6 link, maybe minion damage too. So that's basically it for the main links. And for the support link, I am using Stormbrand Curse on hit flammability and Enfeeble. If you don't choose to go for the additional curse route, you can use it Coaling Strike, which makes Stormbrand faster and Coaling Strike the enemy. So as for our traveling skill, shield charge, faster attack, fortify. But honestly, I swapped to shield charge not long ago, and I don't really like it over Flame Dash and Second Wind. I think Flame Dash and Second Wind is generally better, because you jump over the enemy instead of charging into their projectiles. With Flame Dash, you jump over gaps and you jump over projectiles, so you actually take less damage, as far as I know, as far as my experience go at least. So yeah. And for my Golem, I'm linking it with Elemental Army, because again, exposure. And then for Mana Preservation, I'm currently using Arctic Armor in the hopes that it's stacked with the bone barrier reduction, but I don't think it helps that much. So I think I'm gonna swap Arctic Armor for Aspect of the Spider late game. The other reservation is gonna be Character that keep our mana sustain going, and then summon Skitterbots, because again, damage doesn't apply to minions. So all you can do is make the enemies take more damage, so Skitterbots, and maybe late game Aspect of the Spider. And then Desecrate, because if you're fighting bosses, you may not have corpses around, so you want Desecrate to activate Disciple of Kitava and Plaguebringer. So I think that's basically it for the build. I did get my first Minotaur kill not long ago. I'm gonna put it at the end of this video, and that was with a 5 link, because despite having this helmet, when I fought him, I just forgot, for some reason forgot that this is a 6 link. So I kept my summon skeleton as a 5 link on my chest instead of putting in the helmet for a 6 link. Explains why I don't even have a good level elemental focus. Yeah. That Minotaur kill is just with my 5 link on the chest. And I don't think I have the belt and the glove yet, even. So that's way less damage. But yeah. You can see the showcase of the clearing and the damage against late game bosses. So I guess that's it. I think I'm gonna update further when I do find other late game bosses, because again, I didn't even spawn series yet. So yeah, I'm gonna update further. And Flask, again, Flask is Bone Barrier allows you to not run Blood of Fury because you don't need a bleed flask. The other flask is basically you want to go fast, so you go Silver Flask and Quicksilver. Other than that, you want Quartz Flask for utility and maybe Blind, but it's not important because again, damage doesn't affect minions, so choose your own flask. It doesn't matter that much. So I guess that's it. I managed to keep this under 30 minutes. I'm glad, but again, I'm still trying to get better because I want to keep this like within 20 minutes with the explanation. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna update further when I do get to Endgame. So thank you for joining. Actually, let's take a look at the pop-up building really quick. So this was the setup I was using when I fought Minotaur. I think I don't even have Awakened 5-hand, I'm having a normal 5-hand. So I think you're more likely looking at damage with 140,000 per summon skeleton. Yeah, so it is against Guardian, cover enemy in dash, 15% shot with Skeeterbots, ignited enemy, nearby corpses, Feeding Frenzy activated. So all the things buffing, you get around this number per explosion. So that's what you're gonna looking for. I didn't even update it with my Redeemer Glove and my belt. So yeah, when you are getting a new setup, I think I'm currently sitting at around 200k per explosion. That's about it. So yeah, that's the number you can be expecting. I think I'm gonna put the pop-up building link below too. So have a nice day, and I'm gonna see you next time. Goodbye. Alright, this is just a blue map, but this is still my first Guardian map, and I'm still running 5-link, so well, let's hope we don't die. Okay, tier 16, number of seats 13. Oh well. I expected more. I think I got 40 seats one time. But I guess that's the high roll. It's not even in a tier 16 map, so. First Guardian map gonna give me something, you know, interesting. For example, in Exalt. Oh, they still spawn stuff from the Shaper boss. Okay. Monster rarity power charge kit. Okay. Wait, do they get more than one power charge if they hit more than one target? It would be bad if Minotaur like slams and then he just, you know, get 3 power charges.
Oh yes.
Ooh. Nice. Well, I mean, it's not dropping high tier maps, but it's still red maps at least, I guess. At least it's dropping red maps. I still don't really know if... Oh shit! I didn't see the shape before. I still don't really know shield charge or flame dash is better. Both have their advantages, but hey, we almost died, but we didn't die, so I think we want to go from this way. Are you gonna borrow? Okay. Yeah, my damage is not good. I didn't mean to do that. I'm surprised my minion is not dying. Can we come here? We don't want falling rocks. Where the hell is he? I don't want him to suddenly pop up. Oh, come on. Where the hell are you? Oh shit. Why is he here? Well, I mean, it takes a while. Can you stop doing this stupid slam? Okay, it takes a while, but I mean, I'm still in the 5 lane, but it's still taking longer than I thought it would, but oh well.